Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89, or at least my favourite picture of myself. I'm happy to report that Kylie Minogue has actually reached #1 in the UK. I'm a little surprised. Now, I'd heard last week that she'd entered fairly high on the charts and she had reached her highest position in, I think, 10 years. And then a few days later, I heard that she had entered the ARIA charts in Australia. And we had that basically she'd reached the highest position she had, I think, in 14 years here, unless I've got those two back to front. So I was expecting the single to do well, but I didn't expect it to get to #1 and in its second week. So that's pretty amazing. I've been listening to it a lot. I've had it in my head along with a lot of Tina Turner songs. But when I was walking to the post office to get some stuff, I've had to do a few times since the song came out. I just had that on repeat the whole time, saying just again and again and again, and it hasn't sort of bothered me. I haven't gotten tired of it yet, but I thought that was just me. I didn't realise everyone else was loving it. But yeah, so now they're talking about it might actually enter the American charts. And I heard Kylie hasn't entered the American charts since 2001, which is 22 years ago, with I Can't Get You Out of My Head. Now, I thought she'd charted a few times since then, but they just weren't as big as Can't Get You Out of My Head. But some people are saying she hasn't charted since then. I haven't had the time to check the records, but they're talking about it might be another big hit. It might, I don't know if she can ever top Can't Get You Out of My Head, or Locomotion, which was her first hit. So she had a hit in the 80s, then 20 years later, there's something happening here. In the 80s, she had a big hit, and then 20 years later, in 2001, she had a big hit, nearly 20 years later, and now, actually a little more than 20 years later, she might have another hit. So I'm really happy to hear that. There's talk of her touring and everything, because she didn't tour for the last album because of the you-know-what. She did a virtual concert, which everyone watched. I went to her last tour, Golden. It was great, except the venue was awful. Instead of being at Rod Laver Arena, she was at the Melbourne Myer Sydney Music Bowl, whatever it's called. And the way they sell the seating and the way the seating is done, it was impossible to get a good seat. And a lot of people were disappointed by where they ended up. There's a large standing section, and it's just a nightmare. So hopefully she won't go back there. But she is apparently going to tour. I won't be going anyway. But I just am happy for her. But then when I thought about, everyone's comparing her to Madonna, of course, and the fact that Madonna hasn't charted a hit in 7 years or something. I think Madonna was around the age Kylie is now. Kylie just turned 54 when she was doing MDMA, and she had her last big hit on the charts, which was Give Me All Your Loving, which I think was a top 10 hit in 2012. So that was about 10 years ago. Yeah, so that was when Madonna was about 54. So, if you adjust to the age difference, she's about the same place where Madonna was at that point in her career as well. So she's got a few years left before we have to worry about people writing her off due to age. But they've already tried and failed. But the whole Madonna-Kylie comparison, and looking at their careers is interesting when you try and draw parallel timelines and so forth. But yeah, I'm starting to waffle. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. I'm just really glad she's #1 again. I'm just really, really surprised and happy, and I'm excited to see if she can repeat the same in Australia and America, because Padam Padam, Param Param, however you want to say it, might just be that hit. I'm not the only one who loves it, so I'm kind of happy and surprised to hear that, because a lot of divas have had songs I thought were great and they just didn't catch on, and I'm like, why is this not a hit? This is a hit. Okay, I'm going to go. Bye.